Alright, playing its Luris. Not a very strong hand, but don't love to mulligan against the Jund Shadow deck. I think I will, though. I think this is a good matchup, assuming this is Jund Shadow. It's not definitely that matchup. Ah, Boggles. And we did happen to mulligan to our one copy of Damnation. That being said, this is a super hard matchup. Oh, Boggles. Maybe they'll play a Spirit Dancer for me. Second Scout. So we're really hoping to not see an Umbra. Oh, come on. We just needed to fade the Umbra for like one turn, then we could like drown it. Not the best start. Not the best start. The Broccoli Head, 7 months. Thank you for your resubscription. Happy Friday back to you. Yeah, Historic looks like it's going to be a wild place very shortly. I don't really understand any of the decisions that have been made with the new Historic cards, but boy does it look like it's going to be fun. Like, kind of, I'm going to get some FOMO, I think. Historic is already a wild place, that's true, yeah. Yeah, Gabo, I think Force of Negation, I'm assuming they're still like $50, but if they're not in Horizons 2, then the card is like going to be $100 for like a year. I really don't even think a reprint's going to diminish the prices very much. Why no EE in the side? I just... Please, let's not, as soon as we get paired against Boggles, you know, say where are all of our sideboard cards for Boggles. It's just like, you know, I'm not prepared for the matchup. It's okay. You only get to play 15 sideboard cards, you know? But you are a genius for playing 2 EEs in your sideboard. See, I'm very prepped for the Boggles matchup, which I am not. Notably, the Damnation will make both enchantments fall off of the Boggle here, which is pretty important. I think I'll just get a tapped Watery Grave. No, the stealing the Umbra doesn't do anything, but because this kills the Umbra, it also is going to kill the Coronet. Obviously, we could just die here, but this is the draw we've had. And maybe we'll get to a point where we can snap Damnation. It is kind of nice that we can gain 3 life off Cling to Dust. Okay. Yeah, Runner lands is going to be maybe really important here. It's not a land, obviously. Also don't have enough cards in their yard to just draw 4. How does Damnation get around Totem Armor? Well, the Damnation kills the Totem Armor, and then Daybreak Coronet has to be enchanted to a creature that has an enchantment. So Damnation kills the Umbra, then also the Daybreak Coronet will fall off because there's no longer a creature attached to it. So only 1 creature in the graveyards for us to Cling to Dust to. I think that I'm going to draw 2, hope to draw a Black Source, and then hopefully the Cling to Dust will gain me enough life for me to snap Damnation next turn. And I missed. Bummer. Oh no, I don't have 4 Engineered Explosives in my sideboard for the Boggles matchup. You know, Blightbeetle actually has protection from green. Protection from green, 1/1 is not that bad. Right? Yeah. I think we can just leave the Drowns and the Damnation and the Snare to deal with Spirit Dancer too. Guess maybe I don't want this Kalitas. Kind of down to play like 2 Aether Gust though. What I thought of electrolyzing the memory lapse being onto historical, they'd be good. I mean, memory lapse is going to be great. I think that when I was playing historic, one of the biggest issues was there weren't very many good 2-mana counter spells, which is part of the reason why Tail's End was like a 4 of in my deck. That deck got to play 2-mana counter spells, but memory lapse is a really good card, and I'm excited for it. How do you feel about Dispute on the play? Oh yeah, Dispute sometimes just snags. Yeah, Dispute just sometimes will snag Slippery Boggle. Someone mentioned that last time I played this matchup, and I thought it was pretty cool. Am I excited for Monster Hunter today? I've never played Monster Hunter, but I have heard good things. Yeah, Ephemerate in Historic also looks pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Well, we have our 1/1 Pro Black. You think a Blue Thoughtseize in the sideboard would be good? I think they could be fine. I think you could play Thoughtseizes instead of the Tail's Ends. In my opinion, however, the discard spells and the counter spells don't play super well together when you're like trying to get to the late game. Top decking Thoughtseizes aren't that good. If you're spending mana to tap out for Thoughtseize, then you're not always able to hold up. Both Blightbeetles, weird. If you're spending mana to tap out for Thoughtseize, then you don't always have your ability to hold up your counter spells. You know, a lot of times counter spells require you to be like very even on board, and Thoughtseize is a tempo negative play because you are spending mana to not impact the board. So if you just get behind on board, things could be pretty bad because of that. But I think it is reasonable to play like a Thoughtseize or 2 on the board. Alright, so our plan here, or I should say our hope here, right, is going to be to bounce, like, somehow hope my opponent can't grow the Boggle more, then bounce the Griff Boon and then double block. Ace of Spades, 5 months. Hope you're having a good day, buddy. Thank you for that. Well, our hope is dying, just as we are. Although I guess we can still draw our 1 of Damnation. Kind of stings to lose our Boggles, though. I guess we could... If we had drawn Force, we could have maybe bounced the Griff Spoon and then forced on the way down and just tried to block forever. Please tell me your Twitter bio isn't a complete joke. I mean, it probably is. I don't know. I mean, Historic is probably going to be a big mess with the new cards coming out, but it looks like it's going to be a fun mess. Problem is, like, how on earth do I get an arena collection? I probably have to spend like $1,000, which I guess is tax deductible, but sounds like honestly awful, but maybe that's what I'll have to do. It's like, why can't I just buy the deck, you know? Alright, Bird matchup's pretty good, especially with the Cling to Dust in our hand. Thought Scour on top. I'll just shuffle this. Get Watery Grave number 2. I think I'll just take the opportunity to get this grave in tapped, push the guide, although a turn late, I guess. Yeah, I know my audience is, of course, mostly Magic Online boomers, right? But if I'm super interested in Historic and I feel like it's reasonable to get a collection, I'll play Historic. You know, if I think the format's fun and it ends up being really fun, then that's just going to end up being good for the channel, right? I don't know, but I kind of think it's going to be a bit of a shit show. But it looks like a really fun shit show. Good morning, Atos. I'm probably gonna go snap push here. Another Thought Scour on top. This Goblin Guide has not been kind to me. What's the point of Historic? You know, it's a bit weird. I kind of feel like Historic is a good experiment where, like, maybe formats just don't necessarily need to be defined by time or like actual sets, you know. If certain cards are going to make a format exciting and interesting and add like dynamic elements, I'm not saying that what they're adding is definitely going to do that, but you know, like in Pioneer, if they just added all the other fast lands, if they just added you know, like probably like, you know, like Burst Lightning would be really good for Indestructible? No way. Burst Lightning would be really good for the format, I think. And if they just said these cards are now legal in Pioneer, even without like printing a supplemental product, that would probably just be for the best of the game, and is ultimately like, I don't think it's that confusing, you know. You just like, you're like, oh, are these cards in Historic? And then someone's like, yeah, they are, and then that's just the whole conversation. Rojo Planto, thank you for your subscription, and same thing for Luis. Thanks for the great content to make your boring workday go faster. Sure thing, buddy. Doing my best. Do I have any serious thoughts on Boggles? Every time I see you play against, it feels like a difficult matchup. Well, Boggles is probably a decent deck, although it has a terrible Heliod matchup, probably like an unwinnable one. I mean, that's the reality of Boggles, right? Is you have a lot of really lopsided matchups. You tend to crush these control decks that I tend to like to play, and that's just kind of okay. I think it's just okay when you play your blue-black control deck to lose to Boggles. You know, Boggles is not a popular deck right now. I'm just totally okay losing to it if I happen to run into it. You only get 15 sideboard cards, you know. I don't think it's reasonable to just say why no EEs and then, you know, change your whole sideboard plans. They're doing Pioneer Masters, yeah. Exactly. I just don't think formats need to be hard defined, you know, by exactly the eras of cards that they're supposed to be. I think it's just totally fine to have, you know, just say these cards are legal in this format now. We think it's gonna spice things up, make things interesting. I'm just kind of totally for it. Opponent skullcracks me, skewers me. It's pretty fine. In your opinion, Wizards should add Pioneer sets until we have the formats in Arena? I think so too. Honestly, at this point, I do not see Pioneer and Historic becoming the same format. Or if anything, Historic or Pioneer will become Historic, you know, and not the other way around. Did I read that green card that is going to be an image too? Yeah, it's land or spell, which is way worse for Titan. I am curious if Titan players think that card's going to be great. I don't really know. That does seem like a home for it potentially. It doesn't seem like that much better to me than like Oath of Nissa and other green decks. I mean, Oath of Nissa is a fine card. It just seems like roughly on that power level, you know. Yeah, it's an okay cantrip, I think. Pretty unique, and so like actually, you know, I think you might have to just play with it before you figure out how it goes. Maybe you'll play it in Sultai Teamer over Opt. I mean, it being sorcery speed is a huge problem. But I kind of just feel like Oath of Nissa is better for like a lot of like just like if for an average deck that wants a green cantripping effect. I think Oath of Nissa is going to be generally a little bit better. That being said, I could just cast the card and be like, wow, this is actually way more powerful than I initially evaluated it at. Alright, I'm gonna hold off on this Typhoon. Fetch on my turn because of Skewer? I guess I could just not fetch, but... No, it's better to fetch because we need to make a 5/5 Shark to have lethal next turn. Abundant Harvest helps prevent mulligans by 20%. Is that just like... I'm curious where the 20% number comes from, but I agree that like it's going to add consistency to decks. Harvest goes right in 4-color and Shadow decks. Or decks that's really land light. That's interesting. You might be right. You might be right. I don't know. But it's also like... Again, Oath of Nissa just does the same thing, you know? Where it's like gonna find you a land or a creature. Just show my opponent they're dead. And Oath of Nissa can also give you more selection, you know? Like if you see a land and two creatures, you get that one. Although I guess this one will hit any spell, not just creatures or planeswalkers. It's kind of interesting. I'm playing a Dispel. I actually felt like I wanted a Dispel for the Heliod matchup, countering both Coco and Veil. Feels like the two most important cards. Still not 100% sure, I guess. Joe Fish, 4 months. In lieu of Worthless Friday, I thought we could accept Melvin Mondays, where I narrate the entirety of the comprehensive rules. Sounds like what the people are here for. Sounds like a ton of fun. So I usually actually end up not liking... Oh, there's a Kalitas in there. The Thought Scour so much in this matchup. I think I'll play the first Jace over the 4th Typhoon. Tails End's kind of fine on the play. It can counter Rift Bolt or Fetch Land, but... Yeah, I saw Mana Tithe in Historic too. I don't know, it looks kind of fun. I haven't, Gabo. People keep telling me I need to, so I'm gonna probably get around to it soon. Yeah, if this green card, this green cantrip was an instant, I'd be way higher on it. Well, I mean, I'm not sure about... I mean, Time Warp honestly does seem really good in Historic, but... Like, Mind's Desire is a really powerful card. It's probably going to be better than... It's probably going to be a competitive deck, but also Mind's Desire is not in a format with fast mana, which is really where Mind's Desire shines, you know? It seems like it's going to be really hard to Mind's Desire for more than 3. And if you don't hit another Mind's Desire, it's probably not doing that much, you know? Inspiring Statuary seems like maybe the best home for it. But again, I'm not convinced it's going to be busted. And I mean, that's certainly the intent of printing a card like Mind's Desire into Historic. It's like, you're supposed to see it and go, this is busted. I'm so excited. The Mind's Desire. This is going to be awesome. But it might just be fine. I do think Time Warp is going to be really good. Ephemerate's probably going to be really good. I mean, all these cards are going to be format defining. A lot of these are going to be format defining, but Memory Lapse is going to be really strong as well. I'm doing well, Kaigen. How are you doing? Yeah, Brainstorm will be very good in Historic. I know that you don't have fetch lands, but there's like a lot of combos with it, and it's still better than Opt, I think. You still have Fabled Passage, right? Well, punished for not holding the Gust, I guess. Right on time, Force of Negation. So we are not going to pitch Force of Negation as long as Rolling Vortex is in play. Memory Lapse will be legal in Historic as soon as this new, whatever this set is legal. I'm going to blast both of these. And John, what do I think of 4 mana Vraska as an out to infinite life? I like 4 mana Vraska. And like I think that that's also like a good reason to play her too. I think that's clever. I'm into it. In fact, I may even start doing that myself next time I play Jund. Ephemerate Seagate Stormcaller. Yeah, dude. Historic also has Dual Caster Mage, which is a card I've wanted to play with Ephemerate for a while. Haven't been able to. Yeah, Tindrils is also legal now, which is wild. Why no Force of Negation this Boros Charm Spike? Why no Force of Negation? Also, unrelated, what does Rolling Vortex do? It's actually kind of possible that we could race. Bergie, Baral, Moxamber. Ooh, I forgot about Bergie. It's gonna be really fun. I think I'm gonna get some FOMO if I don't actually get to play with these cards. So I'm hoping that I get to play some. Alright, my opponent does punish me if they have bolts, but we have Drowned to counter something else. Just the fact that they have Sunbaked Canyon, and they're like taking 4 a turn, we're only taking 1. Makes me think we have a chance to just race. We could just bounce Rolling Vortex, draw a card. Just get a PT Vent and then get a God account. They don't let you like stream for fun with your God account, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure last time I got one, they said like this is not for you to just like stream content, you know. This is for you to test. Bounce if they take 1. I think I'm gonna bounce now if I'm gonna bounce at all. They're gonna go down to 7, then down to 5. I think I'm just gonna bounce because I don't want them to be able to respond, and then I won't be able to force. Could save it for counterbalance. I don't think they're going to tap out on their turn is the problem. What a stupid requirement. I think it makes sense. Like, that's why they're giving you the God account, you know? They're not just trying to fund your stream or whatever. I get it. Like, Wizards doesn't give God accounts to streamers just to stream, right? Like they do for the release events. But as far as I know... I just can't pitch into the story. As far as I know, like that's just they don't just give them out to have streamers be able to stream, right? Ross, thank you for your Twitch Prime. Hope you're having a good day today. MJ used the God account and stream. Pretty sure. If that's the case, I think it was against their like terms of service. I could be misremembering or misinterpreting the last time I saw their TOS, but that is my impression. Better than average. Thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. Hope you're having a good day as well. You're even better than average in my heart.
Aspiring Spike.
I train, baby. You can just stream your testing. That's decent content. I mean, I'm not qualified for the PT. I'll say this. Like when we're like entertaining the idea of getting an arena account right now, it's about like the new sweet arena stuff that's happening, right? It's not about testing. But I did stream a little bit of my historic PT testing last time. Well, not queued for today's PT, obviously. Oh, there's a standard PTQ on Sunday that I might play off stream. Is there just like obviously a best deck in standard, or should I like just watch the PT tomorrow and find out? Maybe I'll DM Spider Space, see what he thinks. The Tide, Stone Rain, just lots of really cool stuff that I just want to play with, I guess. We lost to Boggles in round 1. You know, and you could say, why no engineered explosives in the sideboard for the Boggles matchup? I think I'm putting back Snapcaster. Temur Adventures. Is that Sultai deck good? I think that's like the most popular deck, right? I feel like it's gonna be pretty hard to navigate a mirror match of the Sultai deck though. I'm glad to have Field of Ruin in my hand. Obviously I wish I put back the Damnation, but you know, not an open deck list event. They specifically asked us not to stream the event, but I think streaming testing would have been fine. Yeah, you can stream testing, from what I understand, but what I was trying to say, maybe this didn't come across correctly, but you can't just stream like not your testing, you know? Like if for whatever reason you were doing something on your stream that wasn't actually testing with your arena account, I think that was against TOS. So the idea was that if I got a God account for a PT just to stream the historic stuff, but I guess it would just be still testing. I don't know. It would be fine. Can you say what you registered, Spider, or are you just trying to keep it on the DL? Oh, it's E-Tron. Well, super rewarded for getting Swamp. With the Sunken Ruins, it was good to get the Swamp anyways when you push in hand too. You registered Mono White, but put Yorion in it. Should I play it in the PTQ on Sunday? I just don't understand how people can draw so well. Just tilts me so much. Must be nice opponent to actually be able to cast Matter Reshaper. If you send me the list, Spider, I'll take a look and then I'll probably just like jam it on Sunday because I haven't been PT testing. But a standard GP or PTQ is probably like pretty good value, right? So if they play Smasher, I'm just gonna draw 2 probably in a Damnation. It seems they don't have a Reality Smasher or an Atom Smasher in their hand. Does Counterspell see Legacy played? Not much, no. A little bit. They revealed Walking Ballista, decided not to put it into play. Yeah, the cycling deck seems pretty cool. Maybe I should have put back the Damnation. Maybe it's just like super easy to think that in hindsight. Definitely drowning them to try to turn on Into the Story. Maybe I should have Damnation actually. Real successful with Temur Adventures Toski. It's interesting. Definitely will be fun to play a Toski deck. I didn't see that no Lockhart. This kind of sound up my alley though. I'm not sure I'm supposed to force that. I don't have like very many 1-drops left. I've got 2 Cling to Dusts, 2 Pushes, and a Thirst. It's probably worth forcing though. Nice draw, man. Awesome. Chalice of the Void is like way worse against control decks than it used to be. Yeah, I've seen the Naya Toski deck. The one that like I saw Crokies play a Naya Toski deck once. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Interesting. This looks pretty spicy. I'm a little worried about it being like maybe not as good as like a stock Temur Adventures, but I think it's a cool brew. I'm into it. Am I ready for what Historic is about to be? Well, I mean, currently the Historic format doesn't affect me at all, but boy, I really like legitimately getting FOMO of like just not getting to play this really interesting new Historic format. So I might be trying to get an arena account. I mean, I have an arena account, right? I just will have to be. Oh, they have Tron now. I might actually try to get an arena collection together and play some of it. Yeah, Death Shadow in the format too seems really cool. No, we couldn't hardcast Typhoon with Drown up, so I just felt like this was not a turn to hardcast Typhoon. Do you want to borrow a stocked arena account? I think, isn't that against TOS though? I'm pretty sure that is against TOS too. I guess Drown wasn't even that good because of the crowns. But yeah, I think that's against TOS to just like borrow someone else's stocked account. Why is it against TOS? I don't know. It's kind of a good question. But you know, this is my career, my livelihood. Can't be getting banned by Wizards for something stupid like that. Guess I'm gonna counter draw. Oh, I should have shuffled first though. I mean, it's not like it's that bad to draw this. Sure. Alright, I think I'm gonna go just make a 2/2 Shark here. Might be hard casting the other Typhoon depending on what we draw. It's kind of bad if they have a second Allah's Dust though, which they could have. YOLO. It's probably not that good. Is it against TOS to grind on someone else's arena account? I don't know, maybe. Could be. Could not be. I'm not an arena lawyer. Thought Scour, Thought Scour, Thought Scour, Thought Scour. Second drown is actually kind of nice because if they play a spell, we drown it, then they scavenge the grounds in response, we can just drown again. Winning game 1 against Etron is pretty nice. Pretty nice indeed. I usually really dislike Fatal Push against Etron. I might play like one copy though. Blightbeetle is good against Ballista. Probably not good enough to bring in though. Tailsin's pretty good though. Third Force is nice. Push is probably better than Thirst, even though Thirst can kill Smasher and Karn. This doesn't do so super efficiently. Would I be open to the idea of a Sparring Spike Arena account fundraising campaign? Not really. If you guys want to support the stream, the best way to do so is subscribing, and I just don't like the idea of someone like feeling compelled to do more than that, you know? That's plenty, and it's like, you know, super appreciated. I just don't need you guys to fundraise for stuff like that, I think. Do you think there are going to be any new cards with the mechanic Magecraft are going to make a new Storm variant? None that I've seen so far, but maybe. I have to just, you know, I tend to not evaluate cards by their mechanic. I tend to evaluate cards on their own. And so I haven't seen any card that I think with the mage craft mechanic that's going to be like viable and specifically modern at least. Think of a Dono deck like a Dono format. Maybe, I don't know. Because I mean, wouldn't it like a good historic collection to be like $1,000 or something? Or is that even like? Is that even like not even? It would be more than that potentially. Withdrawal Force, I don't think I'm forcing. I have very few 1-drops in my deck right now. Probably more than that, yeah, exactly. It's pretty silly. Nice opponent, congrats. Tails End, much better than Ceremony's rejection this game. That's bad. Dude, Natron, Chalice into Natron Karn into uncounterable Thought Seer. Yikes. Yikes. And we have a pretty good hand too. It's a lot cheaper if you grind limited. Yeah, I just don't have the time, you know? It's, you know, I stream Magic already, you know, 35, 40 hours a week. And I just don't have the time to grind limited in my free time. Yeah, and even then it's like, I don't know. It's not like a good EV even, right? I mean, I don't mind playing limited, it just a drag. Yeah, I don't like a lot, like I even spend, you know, a lot of time like testing for the stream off stream, so there's just like no way I could in my free time also just grind limited. It's not possible. I don't understand this line. I mean, I think this is I don't think I can make a 3/3 shark here and just like let them tap out for something. It's like a little tempting. Definitely a sign of weakness that they just ghost quartered. Like they're definitely trying to tell me that they just have 2 lands in hand, or like land dismember somehow. But I don't think I'm just supposed to believe them here. $750 to be able to build any of the top 5 historic decks. Yeah, the thing is, like, I would want to be able to build like multiple historic decks, right, and stream with them. It's like the huge, wonderful thing about mana traders and Magic Online is that. Oh, I forgot I have Thought Scours. Yeah, this is actually worse than I was saying earlier. Although we can now block and then bounce the Chalice with Cryptic and then push the Thought Seer into turn. You know, just the mana trader subscription has like definitely been a big part of why I'm able to stream what I want when I want, and nothing like that exists on Arena, which is a huge problem. Yeah, could Tails in the Chalice trigger. I've done it before. MTGO is a trading card game. Arena is a collectible card game. Yeah, sounds about right. They're going to Scavenger Grounds now? Weird. Do they know about my Tails End? They don't. Guess they're trying to get my Cling to Dust. Well, you know, opponent had a great start, but they did flood out a bit, it seems. I have the gold mana trader subscription, but I've also had it for like 3 years now, so like the perks of it are like very upgraded from what the base level is. Sorry, opponent. I would have spell snared this. Did we just draft for first week instead of that? Yeah, I honestly miss limited a lot. I used to do a ton of limited. Just every single set I used to play a ton of limited, and I do still like it, but the problem is with the amount of like effort I put into the stream, it's very difficult to just want to draft new sets in my free time, especially when new set releases are like a busy time for me, you know, content wise. But there was a time where I was like primarily a limited player. I remember before the PT Nashville I was in, I did 100 drafts of Hour of Devastation in like a week and a half to prep, and I just love it. It was awesome. Grind limited on stream. Yeah, grind limited on stream for like a third of the usual viewers. And when instead it's like I could just make more money streaming for the regular amount and use that money to pay for the account instead of just streaming the limited grind. I'm just discarding the fetches here. I think I'm also going to block. Yeah, just like on my phone, be grinding limited while I'm streaming. You know, Ross Merriam once said something very wise, I think. It's that your viewers are never going to say no to more content. There's always going to be someone who's going to want, like, arena limited streams. There's always going to be someone who is asking for any piece of content. There's always going to be someone who's interested. But you have to figure out what's actually best for you and not just, do everything that everyone wants you to. Which is maybe good advice for life as well. Alright, the Smasher is a problem. I'm going to tap draw here. If we draw a Thought Scour, we can drown. Or maybe just a big ol' shark, huh? I'll make a 7/7, right? No point in just leaving up 3 mana because we just have 2 mana plus Force up. Imagine if my opponent had Shark Typhoon, it'd be so dead. Maybe I should have pitched the Drown. Not sure. But I think Snapcasters are better than any of the other cards. They're also dead next turn if they don't draw something. Yeah, 8/8 would have been nice to be a turn 2 clock, but the Snapcaster kills them anyways. And then like just not like tapping out of a 2 mana spell seems pretty loose. Every stream where I alter Shark onto Shark Typhoons. Yes, we can have any stream that anybody requests at any time. I don't think Esther is like particularly talented painter. She's probably better than me. You can keep this. Suggest shrines. It will happen. I'll make it happen. With Enduring Ideal, sure. That can be. We can do 2 separate shrine streams. ASMR, sure. Only communicating and commentating via singing. That's just the regular stream, I think. Back-to-back E-Trons. Well, we did just beat E-Tron, so I guess it could be like Eldrazi and Taxes. So maybe I should have played this. Island is some spicy attack. Very, very powerful card. Unreal! Unreal! I just don't understand how some players draw so well. Some players just draw so well. I don't understand. I shouldn't get this upset. I shouldn't get this upset. It's just like, give me a chance, you know? Is it too late to concede? Smasher is GG. It's never too late to concede. In fact, a player may concede at any time. And a player who concedes the game leaves the game immediately, and that player loses the game. I'm gonna fetch off of Island in case I draw push. I'm gonna scour them. Scouring them I think is really important here. I found that to be one of the more important parts of this matchup. Yeah, 3-2 on turn 2 is just unfair. Smoky Titan +1 for the singing stream and all the storms we cannot weather, yeah. Oh, there's a pretty sweet Weather the Storm being printed. You cannot concede after taking lethal damage of game 3. That's not what the rule says. The rule says you can concede at any time. You can concede years after the fact. You can concede before you start playing. Any time is a legal time to concede. Alright, Bloodchief's Thirst looking really bad here. I'm probably going to go Snap Scour, block here. Anytime, but what if there's no time? Yeah, if there's been some kind of break in the space-time continuum, you probably can't concede. Why is Thought Scour so important in this matchup? So, like, compared to Mono Green Tron, which actually fills up their own graveyard pretty quickly, like they play all these stars and stirrings and spheres, and their graveyard fills up by itself. Eldrazi Trons doesn't, and so in order to make your Drowns and Into the Stories work, you need to scour them. Good hit, opponent. I guess I could have Thought Scoured in response. Hold now just in case they hit whatever they're trying to find. Cling to dust. If we draw Fatal Push, we can Typhoon for 0 and then push the Thought Seer. Reveal Urza's Mind, play it. We have 2 cards left. I think they have a Dismember, by the way they like paused earlier. Kick. It's kind of funny that you, in the art of Fatal Push, the guy's kicking, and then you kick a Bloodchief's Thirst, but you don't kick a Fatal Push. I'll be here all week. What's the deal with Fatal Push? The art's got a guy kicking, but you don't kick it. Yeah, Typhoon for 0 does make Revolt, because it does make a 0/0 Shark, which immediately dies and leaves the battlefield. It's a good trick to have up your sleeve. Oh boy. And a kick isn't a push, yeah. Exactly. I would describe our shape that we're in as being bad, but not unwinnable. Honestly, like one of Bloodchief's Thirst would be perfect for this. What is a kick but a push with your foot? Sounds like something Mr. Miyagi would say. I watched Cobra Kai recently. Season 1 was awesome, and then the rest of it I think was pretty unwatchable. But I did watch it. Did I see your donation pass by? I've seen it this morning, yes. But it looks like you didn't submit the list to the donation form, so I haven't actually seen the deck yet. Well, I gotta make a Shark here. Gotta kill that Karn. Although I kind of think they have Dismember. This is just like the line we have to take. I didn't like Season 3 either, Draven, but I mean, whatever. Everybody's got their own opinion. They don't have it? I really thought they like paid. They were starting to pay costs when I had that Snapcaster in play. I really thought that they had a Dismember. Maybe they're afraid of like Force of Negation. No, they're just punting by waiting. And maybe they have 2. What do I think of Historic and Ephemerate Historic? I think it's going to be a great card. I don't, I'd have to look again at like what cards are legal. But I guess I need to figure out how to get a Historic collection. I know that the Dive Down, which is a podcast I'm on pretty often, they did an episode on how to get a Historic collection. So maybe I'll just listen to that. Maybe I'll spend my stimmy check on a Historic collection and then deduct it on my taxes next year. They named Construct with Cavern. Boy, do I sure hope they don't actually have Ballista as their last card. No, it's an Eldrazi. Please don't be Matter Reshaper. Please don't be Matter Reshaper. Oh, thank goodness. It's just Thought Seer. Thanks, Admiral. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, it feels really bad, though, if I'm spending, like, $1,000 for a historic collection that's just going to be like probably not a good move for the stream, you know? It's like the stream is probably better staying focused on modern anyways. You know what I mean? So it would feel less than great to to make that move probably. Have I played the Eternal TCG? I haven't, no. That's the one that Luis Scott Vargas worked on, right? I've watched him play it a couple times. It looks kind of interesting, but my biggest thing is like I spend so much time playing Magic that when I'm not playing Magic, I'm more interested in playing card games. So like I like to play a lot of D&D. I like to play a lot of Dark Souls. I recently just played Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and that game was really, really good. I really liked it. I'm like still... It's one of those games that's like sticking in my brain for a few days after finishing it. Good gamer chair. It's good advice. I have a pretty good chair, but it's not a gamer chair. Nice. I didn't play the first Ori. I didn't know that there was a first Ori when I got this one, but I'm kind of I'm interested in playing the other one. Now that I know. Magic Legends bad as people say. I watched Canister play some of it. It didn't look like my kind of game. But I could see people liking it. You know, Saffron Olive had a really good tweet, I think, about Magic Legends, that Magic the Gathering is such a good game that if you're trying to sell Magic players on something like Magic Legends, they're just not going to want to play it because Magic Legends is not as fun as the game Magic the Gathering, you know? So it's kind of a weird project for them to work on because of that, you know? It's like really hard for Magic Legends to be the best game of its type. But Magic the Gathering is the best the best card game ever made. And maybe just the best game ever made. At least I think so. This is all his dust?
Hey. Was this Starbucks drink for me or you?
For you. Everything is for you. Is this Emrakul? I'm gonna be mad if it's Emrakul.
Thing to know. I'm going to the gym and she thinks I'm taking it.
Just all his dust. Man. We've been just chewing up and spitting out Etron, which I don't think is a great matchup. I think it's alright. Let me see. I think I sideboarded something like this before. Looks right to me. I will say that I don't know if you guys saw the Arena on iOS commercial with Patton Oswalt and the uncle from Spy Kids. And there was I don't know who the third guy was, but he was actually like the real spokesman. But I thought that commercial was really good. I thought it was really well done. Why so much Etron right now? Maybe you can tell me, Yama. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just like queued against like the only two Etron players back to back, and then I'll never see it again. Danny Trejo, yeah, yeah, Machete. I couldn't remember his name.
Didn't know. I don't understand.
She wants coffee. Coffee for Athena.
Mommy,
Coffee.
you always give me coffee.
She says, "Don't talk to me till I've had my coffee. Don't even talk to me until I've had my coffee." Yeah, I think she knows you're leaving, so she's like,
yeah, she's
do not
being
leave,
dead.
please. Do not leave.
Take me with you, please. Trying to open. I was trying to open my coffee. It was already open.
Good draw. The Shalson one coming down. What do I think of famous gaming people that go by their tag? I don't know. Names are weird, and people should be able to be called whatever they want to be called. Me personally, I've got like a very confusing first and last name, and that like it's like usually a bit of a conversation before people understand how to say it. So it's like me getting a tag, or if that's the word you really want to use, is I really like it. I really like that I have a different name. I'm gonna try to keep them off Smasher here, that I can use. Timu Rantanen? That would be Rantanen maybe? That would be my guess. What is she doing? I don't know. She's being bad. She says, I love to be bad. She's been really talkative lately. Alright, let's make a 1/1 shark, try to find a land. So hopefully my opponent doesn't have something too crazy. Thinks that like if I just hit a land here, I could have, Cryptic, Snap Drown. Wow, Crawling Baron looks nuts. How much worse would Grimflayer be than Goyf in your Sultai control lists? Probably not that much worse, honestly. It would be like a degree or like a tier worse, but probably be fine.
Stop.
Can you take her out or put her in the balcony or something? I'm putting you on Athena duty.
I'm trying to leave.
Well, did you not hear Athena say don't leave? Yeah, she's been talking so much. We probably can't beat this Ugin, right? What do you think of that Sultai deck? I'm trying to figure it out. Like, I really want to play Drowned Loch in it. I really want to play Drowned Loch in that deck. To be able to try to deal with the blue-red prowess matchup. The problem is I'm having a really hard time trying to fit the Thought Scours in the deck that I think I need to make it work. And also just, have like a solid curve, keep the Tarmogoyfs in. So that's part of the reason why I'm playing this deck today, actually, is so that I can try to figure out, like, is Drown like a really good thing to be on in the metagame at the moment? Am I actually right that that's what I want for the Sultai deck, which is again just part of the reason why I'm actually playing this today. But Athena also gets like really cranky if she doesn't get to go out twice in the mornings. So like usually I'll take her and then Esther will take her, but this morning me and Esther walked Athena together. So I think that's might be why she's cranky too. She didn't get to go out twice like she usually does. Pathing and Storming is just clean magic. Yeah, I mean it's just not an option in the Sultai deck, of course. But it's also like Anthonice and Oust, I think, are generally a bit better. I'm probably supposed to play Kalitas, right? Kalitas seems solid. The tails end up. Always play Manamorphose. Yeah, easy. Yeah, this deck plays 4 Archmage's Charm. Good card. What's the analysis so far on the card? I mean, it's felt pretty good. We've had a weird league, though, where we played against Boggles into... Like, I don't even remember match 2. They have All's Dust. It's super bad for us. Played against Boggles into... Should I try to... They don't have Tron. Should I try to just block a Spirit? I think I should. Any, meeny, miny, mo. Tails End should say Historic instead of Legendary. Well, if it said Historic, it could also counter artifacts, so it's different. Do a poll. I thought about it, but then it just probably wastes too much time. I could hardcast the Typhoon. Then I guess we're actually just dead to Crawling Barrens. Just dead to Crawling Barrens. So now we can actually push Crawling Barrens and Tails End the trigger. I guess we could have done that before. I can push. I just said that I can push the Crawling Barrens and counter the Chalice trigger. If they make it a creature end of turn, they get 2 counters on it. Yeah. Every time they activate it. Oh, okay. They could have just said not make it a creature. Although I think it's actually better to make it a creature because if I kill it, then they're not sinking the mana into it on their turn. They get a little bit of better info. Yeah, I got you, Huge Shash. No, they have Thought Seer. They have Smasher. Well, we're not dead to Smasher. Not, like, exactly alive, though. Yeah, Adam Smasher. Dude, I've been thinking a lot about Cyberpunk lately. I love that game. I thought it was so good. I really am excited for the DLC. I also want to do a second playthrough, but there's, like, specifically, like, all the... What's it called? Missions. Where you, like, go into the videotapes and stuff. Those. Oh no, I didn't hold priority. It didn't give me priority. I didn't think I. Oh, and I was drawing Damnation. No. Oh, it's so tilting. Why didn't it give me priority? I wasn't yielded. Did I have to hold priority there? Can somebody give me a clip maybe? I didn't like click OK. It probably auto yields. Don't you always need to hold? I guess. I don't think I auto-yielded to it. I don't remember doing so. I like basically never do it because I'm so lazy. I didn't click till yield till end of turn. I cast the push. The Chalice never triggered. I saw it go on the stack. Yeah, I didn't think I needed to hold priority. I'm interested in looking at a clip because maybe I misclicked somehow. I'm curious to find out what goes on or went on there, so figure it out. It'll be fine. Yeah, now my opponent thinks I just like punted. Well, obviously that doesn't like really matter. Man, Temple.
How come these don't say how many milligrams of caffeine is in here?
So I don't want you to know.
Because there's no caffeine. What if there was no caffeine, even though there's coffee in here?
Yeah, it's just a placebo. A placebo. I think it's better. I think it's better to hold up Charm than it is to field here. If they have Temple, Cavern, Smasher, good for them. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't get priority there. I am really curious. It's okay if nobody wants to make a clip, we can just move on, but pretty obnoxious. Yeah, with the Damnation off the top, like, we were, like, definitely in winnable shape. I just don't know what happened. Thank you for the clip, Goblin King. They have a second Smasher, it's so unlucky for us. The videotapes and stuff, those... Oh, no, I didn't hold priority. The videotapes and stuff, those, like, go into the videotapes and stuff, those... Oh, no, I didn't hold... Yeah, I don't know what happened. Why? I just don't know why it's not giving me priority here. I've got my finger over the tail's end, ready to get... whatever. Try not to be a broken record. Was there consideration for counterbalancing the Chalice with Cryptic earlier that game? We'd have to, like, talk about a more specific point. I don't remember everything that happened in the game. Submit a ticket, I guess. Yeah. I don't like to do it on stream, though. Thank you for flag. Yeah, I didn't have the yield symbol on the Chalice. I think that was the client. I don't think it was me. What was I going to do with priority? I was going to tails in the Chalice trigger. I was going to counter the Chalice trigger, which let me survive. I think I was actually drawing. My top card was actually Damnation, as we found out. Maybe it was a bug. Maybe. No, I don't ever play with my keyboard at all. I always just use my mouse. So I didn't press F2 or 2. See if they Scavenger Grounds here. If they Scavenger Grounds, I'm going to tails in the trigger to try to keep their graveyard fullish. And my graveyard. So you need one more card in their yard to drown the Smasher. I should pull priority just in case. Sounds like a drag. But you're probably right. You bounced Ugin, then Snap Command to counter draw on the way down. Well, they had two on that turn. They had 2 mana available to just like replay the Chalice, right? Am I wrong? I don't think I also had 1 mana for my Snare, if I remember correctly. We're actually kind of doing it. Did we target a creature that something push couldn't destroy? I mean, we targeted Crawling Barrens. If push can't destroy Crawling Barrens for some reason that I'm not aware of, then yes, but I don't see what the issue with targeting Crawling Barrens would be. I'm going to discard the Swamp here, because they could have Ghost Quarter for my castle. I'm playing it main phase just in case they play a second Scavenger Grounds. Yeah, it still should have given me priority, even if like you can still target it even if somehow you can't kill it. I think it was just Magic Online messing up. I don't know. I think we've looked at the tapes. I don't think I did anything wrong. I think that we had a really good chance to win that game. Had Magic Online not messed up there. We also, now that they've passed, have a good chance to win this game. We can even drown plus with a Scry up. I've been in that spot. MTGO gives you priority. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But then I was like, I just like immediately assumed that I had messed up because I died. Wow. But I don't think I did. We get to scry into a counterspell here. It's just so good for us. Hell yeah. Although notably not a counterspell that it's not one that we can counter and castle, but still really good. I also didn't cast anything. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no way I would have yielded to the chalice because the chalice hadn't triggered yet, and there was also not the symbol, of course. So if my opponent goes all as dust, I think I just let it go. Sodek, thank you for the raid. Hope that you're having a good day today, buddy. I feel like we can just let this go. Just so bad if they get to stick anything. Like, this lets us scry. Obviously, if they're light on action, countering is way better. Obviously, we top deck a counterspell, countering is way better. You know what? I'm going to counter it. YOLO. I could upkeep Scry, but that's really bad if I draw a Snapcaster or Cryptic. Alright. This doesn't do anything as a chalice. Yeah, I'm really not sure if I was supposed to let that resolve or not. It feels very close. My opponent's like a little light on action, I think, but obviously they have a draw every turn. Like, there was one turn a couple turns ago where they didn't play anything. Alright, I'm really happy that we won anyways. I'm pretty sure that chalice thing was a bug. But we're 3-0, lost to Boggles. I can't remember what Match 2 was. Oh, it was Burn. Boggles, Burn, Etron. That's true, definitely good for streaming too. Yeah, I'm playing one River of Tears. I was playing more before, but I'm playing one Catacombs, one River today. We're gonna get some Gingerbread Cabin gameplay next week, maybe. I put 2 cards on top. More like they put 2 cards in the graveyard. Maybe. I kind of want to. I have a Sultai variant of the Gingerbread Cabin deck that I am working on. That I kind of want to play test off stream before I stream with it. They put 2 cards on top. More like they put 2 cards in the graveyard. Uh-oh. One of them was Past in Flames. We've been had. How about adding Thieves Guild Enforcer? I mean, at that point, you're just playing Sultai Rogues, right? Which is fine. But that's just a pretty different deck. Yellow hat. Yellow hat. Da 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 da. Welcome back, buddy. Good luck today, by the way. Good luck today. I'm definitely rooting for you. Ascending energy. I'll probably be watching tomorrow. I don't know how much I'll be able to watch today. Have I tried Omnath Control since the unban? A little bit. I don't know. I feel like I'm just not good enough to draw functioning mana with that deck. But I've been really liking Jeskai. I've been liking this deck. I've also been playing and working on this like Sultai control list that has Lurrus as a companion. Gets to play Ice Fang. Also like playing Tarmogoyfs as a way to end the game. Although I feel like I really want to be playing. Those like I was just trying to tweak it, but I really want to be playing Drowns for like the Blue-Red Prowess matchup specifically. But you might like this deck too if you're looking for control deck. Still trying to tweak it a bit. But Lurrus as a companion has been really good, and like Get Back Ice Fang has been amazing too. We could counter this Manamorphose to try to not get got by goblins. I think that if they are not going off with a Mana Dork, that's kind of likely that they're on goblins here. The guy, 19 months, exclamation point, Fran, hell yeah. You play a league with Sauce's prelim list, it was decent. Yeah, I think those decks are fine. Just, I feel like, I don't know. I think that they are fine. But I've been really liking Jeskai, and I do also feel like every time I play those decks, I just don't draw functioning mana. Is only Dimir control in the docket? No, I have 2 other decks prepped. I've got the Red-Black Witch's Cottage deck that is playing Seasoned Pyromancer, Skelemental, and then trying to get back those 2 cards with Cottage. And then I've also prepped today kind of a slightly updated Inverter Herder list. Alright, I don't care if I have to go to discard. I mean, they might just remand this anyways. How did I end up doing with the Sultai Lurrus deck? I think I'm like 12-5 with it or something like that. which is not like a stellar record, but it's okay. Still trying to figure it out too. Cottage plus Snapcaster. So that was the initial idea with the Sultai Luris list, is that Cottage plus Snapcaster work really well together. And I did have a Sultai Cottage mana base put together that I ended up not liking very much. Yeah, they've just got to be on Empty the Warrens here. I'm going to kind of draw. This does lose. Oh, this Spell Snare is the best draw possible. Or maybe Force was better. Both were very good. Yeah, do your own. Yeah, do your own Mystic Sanctuary. So I was kind of thinking about, like, when I was trying the Witch's Cottage, Snapcaster Sultai, Ice Fang deck, just the mana didn't really come together. So I was trying to look at a straight blue-black variant, but when I was testing the Sultai Cottage deck, just having the Sultai Luris control with Snapcasters and Ice Fang felt really good to me, and it has felt pretty good too. It's just, I feel like some of the answers I'm playing are just not necessarily the right choices right now, so I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, I like the red-black Cottage deck too. Do I really think a two-color... Do I think a two-color Delver style deck could be playable? Yeah. I do. I honestly feel like if there is ever a good Spirit printed... Wait, they're tapping for green? Oh, sorry, a good Fairy printed that works well with... Sprite Dragon and Spell Stutter Sprite, then like all of a sudden you have like a really good Delver style deck. Because I think it is really relevant that Sprite Dragon is a fairy and plays really nicely with Spell Stutter Sprite. I've liked those decks in the past. I just needs like one more good fairy to be a good deck. Yeah, they're playing Breeding Pool because they have Veil of Summer in the sideboard. Breeding Pool also casts Manamorphose. Is there a Bant Luris Ice Fang deck out there? Maybe. Your mana is like so much worse because you don't have a Triumph though. It's like... I mean, I'm sure we all know at this point how big a difference it is to have a Triumph versus not having one. Height Storms, thank you for your tier 1 subscription. Appreciate you, yo. Alright, good game 1. I have a Dispel in the sideboard today. I think against Heliod, countering Veil and Coco is pretty relevant, so I just wanted to have one snare for that matchup. I'm going to cut the Thought Scours. I'm going to cut the Bloodchief's Thirst. Kind of want one Aether Gust. I don't think I need Tails In. Tails In is kind of okay to stop Empty the Warrens, but I think it's worse than all of your other counter spells. Could maybe cut the Jace. It's probably hard to tap out for Jace. Seems fine. 4 push is maybe a little bit too much, but I think I'm okay with this configuration. Our match loss was to Boggles. I was a fool for not playing 4 explosives. Why no explosives? I'm going to keep this. Snare is like our best card of the matchup, even though we don't have black mana. Height Storms, did I say thank you? If your username is referencing Storm and Magic the Gathering, how do you feel about Mind's Desire and Tendrils coming to Historic? This deck seems like it could have a somewhat hard time closing out a game. I don't think I agree. I think that 4 Shark Typhoons gives you plenty of... And a Jace and 4 Snaps give you plenty of win conditions. I also will say that there are... Like, some people do take more time to close out games with control due to, you know, meticulous play or slower play patterns, you know, inexperience with the archetype. And so if that describes you, then, you know, maybe this isn't a deck for you. But I can't recall a time I've had a hard time closing out a game. Didn't they say they were not adding 7 cards to Historic, just reprinting? Yeah, but they're not adding like 7 of the cards, but they are adding Mind's Desire, Ephemerate, Mana Tithe, Stone Rain, Tendrils of Agony, Brainstorm. There's like one other super sick one, I think. So my opponent's gonna Gifts, which is fine. I'm excited for Stormont Arena. Hell yeah. Yeah, I honestly I want to play it too. The problem is it's like I'd have to spend like $1,000 minimum to get like this arena collection together, and it would just be like worse for the stream to than to just keep on doing what I'm doing. But I might do it. We'll see. Yeah, Brainstorm is going to be legal and historic. What a timeline. Yeah, had me at Mana Tithe. Yeah, Mana Tithe's sweet too. Brainstorm fine, but both too powerful. I mean, Brainstorm without fetch lands is probably a relatively fine card, if we're being honest with ourselves. That being said, it's still going to be very good. It's still going to be very good. But it is a very different card without fetch lands. Yeah, I mean, you still get Fabled Passage, but, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. To 3. We could beat empty on 2 pretty easily. I think I'll try to counter the next ritual if they play one. Oh, Aria Flame? Well, I've been caught with my pants down, I guess. We do have like a couple of Aether Gusts to draw into. You'd snare the first writ? Yeah, maybe that was the line. I was thinking that the second ritual, if we counter that, they can't empty. But we have been had. I should keep playing MTGO. Yeah, I mean, I will never stop playing MTGO, or at least, you know, not in the foreseeable future. Just, I'm not going to stop playing MTGO anytime soon. But if I really want to play Historic, if that's like what I'm interested in, if I think that format's really cool and fun and interesting, which I'm not saying I do right now, but if that is the case, then I'm going to play the format I want to. I don't think I'm supposed to bounce the Aria right now. I do think I like denying them cards. So maybe we could go counterbounce Aria now. With the spell up. I'm thinking I like countering more than like drawing a card just to try to, you know, run them out of resources a bit. Please no Dispute as the last card. Although I feel like playing Dispute is weird if in the green version that's splashing for Veil. Am I crazy for thinking Pyre in an Innkeeper shell could be powerful? Pyring Lovestruck token into Innkeeper for on-demand advantage. Well, on-demand advantage sounds like an insurance commercial, but maybe. It kind of sounds interesting. I like the idea at least. I think we got pretty lucky this game. You're up against Veilstorm. I think we're about to win. Opponent's 3 cards in hand, facing down lethal. Even if they grape shot, we just have this shark. Yeah, just let the Past in Flames resolve here, then counter the Pyretic Ritual. What would this deck's hard matches be? Well, we got crushed by Boggles. Boggles is a bad matchup. I also think Etron is not favored, but we did beat it twice this league. Sigrid, God favored. Cool. I'm gonna play another one. I'm gonna run back to 75 too. Just dodge Boggles this time. But I think this deck is also like not that good against Dredge. We do have a good amount of sideboard cards, but Dredge is a scary matchup. Boggles be fine. Just run EE. Yeah, why no EE? I'm not trying to dunk too hard on the guy, but.
Bye.